Go Mecha Ball had one of the most headache-inducing reveal trailers of all time. It was prophetic, as this game is knuckin' futz. It's on Game Pass day one, so I had to check it out. You are a group of furry critters looking to bring fun back to your home planet. To do so, you'll don mech suits with guns that can also turn into pinballs. Through 4 different levels, you'll smash, shoot, loot, and scoot your way through waves of enemies. Story doesn't really exist, the premise is weird, the audio is mind-numbing, but it looks real good, and the gameplay is sublime. So let's break it all down in the XboxEra review of Go Mecha Ball. You'll start the game as Cat Rascal, a silly named and looking cat person that wants to bring fun back to their home planet. That's pretty much the entire premise until you complete a run, and it's pretty much all you'll get story-wise from the game. This is a run-based, extremely rogue-light twin-stick shooter with a focus on pinball-style melee. There are 4 distinct looking and feeling levels, with an end boss capping each off. In my first run, I made it to the end of the 3rd level, and then it took me many hours to get through the 4th. It's a heck of a jump in difficulty and where the game's rogue-light mechanics come into play. Every run, you'll earn 2 currencies. The first are yellow diamond-shaped coins that only last that run. Before each boss, you'll get a shop level that lets you either buy up to 3 random items or put money down on unlocking the other 3 characters. The other currency is a blue circular token that persists between runs. These are used to permanently unlock new upgrades, abilities, and guns. Each can randomly appear in between levels during a run or show up in the shop level. Guns can randomly drop from enemies, and there's a little extra I won't spoil after you finish a full run. It's just enough of a carrot on a stick feel to carry the game progression-wise. You can beat it with your base unlocks, but the extra customization on how you want to play afforded by the unlocks helps a ton in making the game feel how I want it. Combining a rocket jump that blasts enemies around me with an air slam, dealing massive amounts of damage in quick succession felt great, but my favorite combo was a gravitational pull that dealt damage to enemies caught up in it, combined with a homing rocket attack. It just always feels really good to play. Go Mecha Ball is essentially a murderous pinball game for most of the time. The controls are basic. A will pick up weapons on the battlefield. X will swap between your 2 equipped guns. The left trigger puts you into ball mode, and using that in conjunction with the right trigger will do a boost which lets you slam into people. The bumpers are your abilities. That's it. There's just enough momentum to make it feel really damned good when you pull off a combo of moves, but it's never so heavy that you feel out of control. The game is frantically paced, and while it's pretty easy early on, the difficulty really does ramp up a ton in the 4th level. Upgrades range from the basic more health to the specific do more gun damage at higher combo levels, etc. The UI is too spread out for my liking, with your guns up in the top right corner requiring you to pause if you kind of want to see where your ammo count is at safely during the heat of combat. Cooldowns will appear as very small circles around your character, though they too are difficult to see when the action's really hot and heavy. In the top left is your health and combo meter, again, kinda tough to keep an eye on when the enemies are constantly attacking you from all sides. Every level outside of the shop and bosses consists of 3 waves. You'll need to track down every enemy on the small maps and take them out to proceed to the next. Once they are all DED dead, you'll get a portal to move on and have the option of one of 3 different abilities or upgrades. Rinse and repeat this 3 times and you're at the boss. Repeat that 4 times, you've done a run. It's a simple premise, carried entirely by its fantastic gameplay and good looks. Go Mecha Ball is a pretty darn good looking game, but I highly recommend turning the screen shake and flash down to about half of their norms. The game's visuals are already pretty noisy without the extra madness thrown on top of it. I also turned the audio down as the game's music and sound effects combine to punch your eardrums repeatedly for the upwards of 45 minutes straight that a run can take. This is a smaller title, carried by its art style and solid performance, as the only hitches I encountered were during the portal loading screens. During gameplay, no matter how big the enemies were, it felt like a lock 60 on my Series X and 120 on my PC. And I don't want to harp too much on the audio, but it did give me a pretty big headache early on. Combine that with a progression bug that never kept any of my early unlocks available, and I ended up playing on mute for the majority of my review. It's not poorly done per se. Things don't clip or sound out of place. It's just hitting my brain in the wrong way, but your mileage may vary. Bug-wise, I only had the aforementioned issues with unlocks reverting to locked in my first few hours, and either a patch or good luck hit, and eventually my blue coin purchases stayed unlocked forever, and the game became a lot more enjoyable. Go Mecha Ball also has one of the weirdest things I've ever seen in a console game. The ability to just close it from the console menu. You can choose to quit the game, and it just shuts down on Xbox. You don't have to press the menu button and go to quit. It's kinda nice. It's not the normal thing you see in a main menu. Wrapping things up, Go Mecha Ball is a fantastic title to get on Game Pass. It looks great and plays incredibly well. The audio package and setup may leave me wanting, but I can see this being one I dive back into repeatedly over the coming months to experience its sublime gameplay.